Hello, welcome to Yoga for the Pelvic Floor and Core Strength. We begin with a mudra called Yoni Mudra. The fingers interlace, the index finger is straight and the index fingertips point. You can have the thumb pads touching each other as well, or you can cross the thumbs and let the thumbs point down to the earth. Make sure you're comfortable in your environment. Allow yourself to scan your environment. Notice anything that feels quite nice, helps you feel comfortable in the space. Feel free to change anything if you feel it's detracting from your ability to enjoy being here. If you feel comfortable, you can let the gaze move down or close the eyes. Take a few breaths and begin to feel into the pelvic floor as a diamond shape structure, pubic bone at the front, tailbone at the back, two sit bones either side. And just getting a sense that there are muscles going back to front from pubic bone towards tailbone. There's muscles going side to side, coming into the perineum. There's diagonal muscles from sit bone to pubic bone. Just that there's this cross section of muscles plus the round muscles for each of the sphincters. That's your base. I always like to think that this diamond is an open diamond, an open space that searches down like a searchlight towards the earth. So how does the front pubic bone relate to the earth? Downward. The rami bones that move back towards the sit bones from the pubic bone. All the way through to the tailbone, having a sense of where the earth is. And each of the sphincters as well, and the outlets. Aware of where the earth is. Gently release the mudra, place the hands onto the knees, rock backward as you exhale, tucking tail, drawing navel to spine. Inhale, rock forward, lift the chest, shoulders roll back. Exhale, tuck, inhale, lift. And just feel into your pelvic floor, your waist and belly, and the connection of the whole length of the spine from back of the sacrum to base of the skull. The tilt of the pelvis will affect each of the vertebrae above it right up to the neck. And the positioning of your head, eyes and ears, and mouth and voice. Once you've had enough of the exhale, tilt, inhale, lift, come back to center in a few circles. If you feel more secure in easy cross legs rather than siddhasana, feel free to cross the legs a little bit more. That's fine. As you circle, again, keep the awareness in the pelvic floor and its relationship to earth. Then work your way up through the whole bowl of the pelvis and the hips, sensation. Let's go the other way, noticing lower back and waist. Lower back and waist. Ribs, chest. And you'll notice as we really begin to deepen our awareness and connection to the enlivened core, that the shoulders, neck and jaw will really start to release and relax. Yeah, that's a really lovely quality that comes from this. Let's just take a little stretch, interlace the fingers, inhale, reach palms to sky, and really feel the length of the side waist and side body. Let the shoulders squeeze up a little towards the ears, but make sure the jaw is relaxed, cheeks are relaxed. Inhale, lengthen up. Pelvic floor is facing the earth. Notice the energy of all the muscles of the pelvic floor. Exhale, twist around to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center, exhale, left, squeeze navel to spine, squeeze the breath out. Inhale to center. Just letting the right hand come to the earth, a nice stretch and opening for the left side body. Inhale, come up, swapping over, exhale. And inhale, coming back up. Just a moment to feel pelvic floor, whole length of the spine, up through crown of the head. If you like, you can use a lotus mudra. So the thumb and pinky edges of the fingers touch, the rest of the fingers are apart, and we just place that open lotus flower on the crown of the head to remind us that we are really looking for this open channel of energy from base to crown. Thinking of the chakras aligning. So we can deeply acknowledge that any core stability that we might be looking for is naturally going to be happening in relation to our chakras, to our psychic centers. Let's release. Hand on heart, hand on belly. So if we are wanting to protect the heart, if we're wanting to shut off the voice of the belly, then core strength will be lost. So we don't want our psychic qualities to be fighting any physical goal that we have of core strength and pelvic floor integrity. So just attuning yourself to what it is to have a long, open front body, open chest, spacious belly, because this might not be psychologically comforting to you. So we're looking at transformation through our energy centers as a way of supporting the physical structure of core strength and pelvic floor integrity. So am I open, long, broad? Is this vulnerable for me? Or is it freeing? Am I ready for this? If I'm not, what do I need and where? These are deeper questions. Important questions to help us along an integrated path of wholeness, wellness. And let's release. We're going to warm up the spine a little bit more. This is also good for the diaphragm, connect with pelvic floor, and it's your simple cat-cows, but do them in your own time and your own way so they're not mechanical. So I'm just swaying my hips as I come around into the cat position. Only when I'm ready will I come into the cow position, and I'll do it in my own body sensing way. Noticing anything that needs to be freed, hips, shoulders. You can sway a little and feel into the side body, stretching. Forward and back. Tuck the toes to help energize the feet. Spread the toes a little. Feet are intimately connected with pelvic floor musculature of the feet, and the shape of your foot arches will give you upward flow into pelvic floor, up through your core to diaphragm to soft palate of the mouth. So it does matter. A little down dog again, just to feel into the length of the side body, the waist, walking the dog. Feel open and broad across the chest. Another breath. And exhale, lowering down to connect breath with belly. So the inhalation is when things are open. The exhalation is when we're closing and squeezing. So inhale, reach one arm and opposite leg. Exhale, squeeze under, draw navel to spine and round the back. Inhale, open and stretched, front body. Exhale, squeezing the front body. Two more like this. And look, I'm really struggling with the balance. So if you are too, you can use just the leg, but do lift the chin as the leg kicks back. Last one. And release. Exhale, other side, just the knee or both legs. And of course you can do less movement if you're feeling it suits you better. You don't have to go all the way. Breathing. Feel that inhalation, stretch you open. Feel the exhalation, draw navel to spine, squeeze the breath out, the thigh into the chest. Last one. And exhale. Inhale, neutral, tuck the toes, wriggle through the backs of the feet, stretch out into a dog. And you notice I have the knees bent in my dog. That's because I'm really wanting to get a lot more consciousness in the knees in my daily standing, but they have a forward movement. And I'm going to get more into those hips and freeing of the lower back. Nice. Widen the legs to open through the pelvic floor. So that diamond of the pelvic floor, nice and wide and open. Feel, sense, connect brain to pelvic floor, flesh. Good. And release. Take the feet in, knees down. Coming on to the back. And rest. So often we're looking at pelvic floor and core strength postnatally. We might have another child as well. So there's a lot of nervous system care we need to take. Lying on the back, finding some space and time for ourselves. And you might lift one or both legs if it's comfortable. And just flex the feet, rotate the ankles. And let your nervous system calm and relax as you play with the air and space above you, with the legs and the feet. Very happy, very easy. If you're quite tight through the back of the legs, this will be a challenge. Simply have one foot to the floor, and your legs can paint their pictures any way that they like. Imagining splatting wet, colourful paint in the air. One more moment. Sigh out the mouth if you need. Any movements that make you happy. And then we come back. We're going to exhale again, tucking the pelvis, backward tilt, and then inhale a forward tilt. And really exaggerate the movement. Lift pelvic floor as you backward tilt, pull pubic bone towards navel. And inhale, forward tilt, almost pulling the sacrum up towards the back of the heart, making those two closer. Stretching the belly and almost taking this front hip bone, it's called your asis bone, towards the thigh bone, as much as you can. All right, so really extend that. Don't just do it mechanically. Feel what else you can give, what else you can put in, what else you can get out of it. Last one, forward, backward, release. Hands face down, close into the side of the body. Shoulders roll back, just so you can really get connection of the back of the shoulders and upper arm into the floor. We're going to push the upper arm into the floor. Slight curve in the lower back, just a natural lumbar curve as you lift up. Breathe here. Arms down, active and strong. They're committed to the pose throughout the length of the pose. They're committed to pressing down into the earth. Now, the muscles of the back body matter here because they can be asleep, which is why we're pressing the arms down so firmly so the back ribs actually start to engage those muscles between the ribs, to press the ribs a little more up, press the back of the heart into the front of the chest. There's a squeeze going on through the back body. You don't have to release that squeeze as you lower the hips down. You can still keep a bit of that activation. Once the pelvis is down, slowly release and take your time to rest here. You can take the arms wide. Breathe. Feel the enlivened back body. Step the feet a little wider, as wide as the edges of your mat. You can lower the knees to the left, turn the face to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, other side. Gentle twist. And coming back to center. So we talked about relaxing the shoulders. This is a really lovely sequence, lying on the side, knees bent, heels in line with your back of your pelvis. The head may need a little pillow or support under it so that you're quite comfortable in your neck and shoulder. Top hand slides forward and around. Roll heavily on the head so the neck and jaw are relaxed. And then coming back as you exhale. Inhale, open and stretch from belly, skin of the belly, twisting ribs and waist, and exhale, close. To get to the other side, you simply lift the knees, roll to the other side and continue. Same practice on that side. So this is about enlivening your core, connecting to the fullness of the structures there, from pelvic floor, pubic bone, waist, belly, to ribs and upper body. Last one. Lifting the knees, and you're on the back again. Lift the feet, hands behind the knees. We're going to see if we can get enough of a roll that we can lift the bottom up and get some movement to come all the way up to sitting. If not, roll to one side, press your way up to sitting in your own time. From this seated structure, we'll have the ankles together, knees together. Wrap the left forearm around the shins. Right arm reaches back. Inhale, look back. Thumb is up. Take a few breaths here. When you're ready, change sides. The kids have all just come home from school, so we've got 3 kids in the other room. I think they're getting themselves a snack. And then come back to center. So this time we're going to bend to the side, touch down and bend. Start getting a twisty feeling through ribs, through waist. And then we can straighten the legs, reach behind and get more of a twist. I'm going to keep my back hip down a little bit at this point. Not excessively, but I'm really wanting to feel the twisty motion through my upper spine, through my waist. And then I'll let the back hip lift to get a little bit more flow. You might even touch nose to floor on each of your twists. One more each side. If I was doing this in class, I would probably do an extra 5 each side. But just for the video, we'll do it quick. Coming back up to sitting, bend the knees. And pulling on the shin bones to lift basically your lumbar spine inward and give you an upward feeling. So thinking of this lumbar curve really dipping inward and upward. So the other side of this lumbar curve is your belly and your organs of digestion. So they're coming into the thighs and up, and the shoulders roll back and the chest is lifted. So we want to keep really forward. We want to keep this activation that we're consciously putting in to the lumbar spine, into the hips, the pubic bone, to keep upward and forward. Even as we take one hand behind the knee, lift the foot, maybe lean back, other hand behind the knee, lift both feet. Roll the shoulders back. Pelvic floor might start to respond. You might get some more sensation in the pelvic floor here. That's great. Breathing. If you're feeling comfortable, you can wrap that forearm under both knees and do the twist again with floating legs. Wrap and twist. If it's fun, do a little faster. If you prefer, stay for 3 breaths in the twist. Depends on your energy levels. If it's the morning, you'll probably do the warm-up moving. If it's the evening, you might just stay for those 3 breaths. Inhale, come back to center, feet flexed, maybe a stretch. Feet to the floor, open the knees and come to Badakanasana. You can move in a circular motion. Feel the pelvic floor in this shape. Circle the other way, pelvic floor awareness. And coming back to center. Feel the pelvic floor as a diamond that's facing the earth. Not too much tailbone to the floor and pubic bone away from the floor. Not too much pubic bone down and tailbone up. Just a beautiful feeling of alignment, balance, groundedness. Breathing. Relax the face and the jaw. Relax the back of the neck and the shoulders. You can pull on the feet to lift a little bit up through the chest so the spine feels long. Exploring the idea that our core is made up of our spine. Remember that spine that sits behind the belly. Our diaphragm at the top, that's the ceiling of the core unit. Pelvic floor at the bottom. And transversus abdominis, particularly around the front. As you exhale, draw navel to spine and feel that transverse abdominis muscle support. Inhale, relax everything. Exhale, a slight firming. Inhale, I fill and expand. Exhale, I narrow and empty. Inhale, fill and expand. Exhale, narrow and empty. Continue drawing navel to spine on each exhale. Relaxing the navel on each inhale. 2 more rounds. On the last round, as you exhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, lift up through the front, middle and back, front, middle and back, front, middle and back. Hold the breath out. And then relax the pelvic floor and inhale completely. Notice how you feel, have a little stretch. From here you can go into your own practice if you like. You can continue doing some of the things that we did in the video. Or you might just like to sit and meditate with Yoni Mudra and some awareness in the pelvic bowl. I like to finish with the lotus flower, placing it gently at the crown of the head, acknowledging that we are a channel of energy between heaven and earth. Pelvic floor is open to the earth, receiving its grounding, its reassurance. Crown of the head is open to the full possibilities of the open sky above, to space. Allow yourself your full length, your full breadth. And tune into a feeling of the chakras, all the psychic centers, all the qualities that we are in this life. Being balanced. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, turn the palms down. That's your practice for today. Keep the mind on the pelvic floor and the waist throughout your daily life. Notice what delights you, what movements that you enjoy in your body. And also notice what tends to shut you off, that has you collapse the chest or withdraw through the belly. It could be people, it could be places, it could be situations. But where we have this vibrant and alive, open sense of self, really important places. Even if it's just a little part of a room in your house or a place in a garden, it's very important that we find somewhere we can feel fully our radiant self.